This that I talk about can't really be talked about. Now, when I say that, it could be interpreted that the reason for that is I have special information or special knowledge or special experience. But that would be an erroneous conclusion. Really, the reason I can't talk about this subject, I can only talk around it or point to it, is because it's so close. So in your experience right now, it's too close to be made an object of thought. It's too close to be made an object of experience. It's really already there. It's really already there in all of its aspects and in full clarity. So there's nothing you have to discover. If anything, it's about removing the filters that make it appear as if this is something obscure, something difficult to find, something that's not immediately in your experience right now. So how do you do that? How do you retract that seeking part of the mental process that feels like it's reaching out into your life or into the world, trying to gather what it needs, trying to collect its resources, trying to arrange things the right way so that you're finally at peace and at rest? How do you let that rest? How do you use that doing part of your experience to stop doing? How do you use that which tries to see outside of experience or sees in a dualistic way to see the entirety of experience, or to see what cannot be seen through a dualistic lens? Well, there's a conundrum here, obviously, and a paradox. One way to see that, one way to clarify this or take this backward step, is to exhaust the seeking, to exhaust the looking. And one way to do that is to take that looking or seeking down into a very fine point. You can do this through an inquiry question such as, who am I? Or where am I? And you keep asking that question until you've exhausted the intellectual pursuits, or you've exhausted the tendency to believe you're going to find it with thinking, with concepts, with visualization, even with experience. Once you see that, that can't be done. There's no way to find what's never been lost. There's no way to think your way into that which is never touched by thought. Then you can really take that one-pointed, diamond-tipped drill all the way through the layers of identity that keep reifying themselves in your cognitive experience. At some point, things will just come to a standstill. Not just the mind, but you'll recognize the stillness that permeates all movement. With this, you'll realize directly and unequivocally why this can't be talked about. It's a stillness that goes beyond any conception of stillness. It's a truth that goes beyond any conception of truth. It's a reality that's so much more real than any description of reality you've ever heard, believed, or thought. So take all of this drive to know, this drive to wake up, this drive to break through, hone it down into a point, a fine point, and drive it deep into your experience until it catches fire. And then that fire cannot be extinguished. You notice the fire is always there, whether you notice it or not. That's when magic happens, when the universe starts to turn itself inside out. And you may not notice that at first, but just stay with that one-pointedness. Stay with that fire burning inside, that red-hot iron ball you can neither spit out nor swallow. Take it beyond all dimension of what you take yourself to be and what you've ever experienced, since you've known yourself as an experiencer. Traverse into the experienceless. Then see what happens.